Hey guys, now a lot of you may be wondering what you're looking at here. This is a very old dehumidifier. It doesn't look like a dehumidifier because it's actually one of the most unique dehumidifiers I've ever seen. Now I'm not a collector of dehumidifiers or AC units or anything, but this is certainly something that I am interested in, and I like seeing old appliances still in use. It just kind of gives me a good feeling that they're still working after all these years. Well, the story behind this here is that it actually came from my restore that I volunteer at, the Timonium Restore. Got it for $10 there on Saturday. It had been sitting there for weeks, and it was clear that nobody wanted it. I didn't know if it worked or not, so I took a chance and got it because when we moved into this house, there was a dehumidifier over there by that tall lamp, but it was a new, like, modern plastic white thing with the digital controls. And the previous owners of the house took it with them. So we needed a dehumidifier down here because we have, if I can see, where is it, right here, this thing. What it is it's a collector of, it like collects moisture. I mean, we have it down here now. We got it before we got that thing. So it's got some water in it. We got to empty it out, I think. So yeah, when that runs out, we'll just get rid of it. So we needed a dehumidifier down here because the air conditioner, the central AC, it dehumidifies the air automatically when it's running. Naturally, that's how air conditioners work. But we needed one down here for when we weren't using the air conditioner, or when the humidity level got so high down here that it just was uncomfortable, and there's a smell down here sometimes. So this actually, we really benefited from this. And like I said, when I got it, I wasn't sure if it worked or not, so we took a chance on it, and it turns out it works perfectly fine. So the only reason I can think of that the previous owners of this unit got rid of it was probably because they got a brand new, modern digital Energy Star labeled unit that has all sorts of buttons and features, and take this one does the exact same thing. So this is it's called the Sears Coldspot 30. It's made by Whirlpool, and I believe it was manufactured in 1976. I had it apart a few days ago to clean it and everything, and on top of the compressor there's a date code, I think, that says 76, so I'm pretty sure this one was manufactured in 76. At least the compressor was. And it is unique because most dehumidifiers, even modern ones and vintage ones, you got the intake on the front and the exhaust on the back, or vice versa. I think on some modern units it's reversed. This one has both the intake and the exhaust right on the front, so the air's intake is right on this side, and this is the exhaust on this side. It has a Whirlpool compressor. Like I said, it was made by Whirlpool. And it has the fan motor it's a 6-blade fan in there. The fan motor is made by a company called Leece-Neville. They're actually still in business today. And as far as I can tell, it still has its full charge of Freon. So here's the label on top, Coldspot 30, like I said. Some other versions I've seen say Sears Coldspot 30. This one just says Coldspot 30. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you the inside of the cabinet, or inside the unit. I'm not going to take off the cabinet because it's just a pain. There's a lot of screws that are involved in it. So it's removed by removing the faceplate here. So here's the faceplate. It's got these louvers on it. Now there was a knob when it was new. There's a little brass knob that went on here, which has gone missing some time ago. So here's the inside. On the left you can see the intake side, and on the right is the exhaust, as I mentioned. Here are the coils right here, the evaporator coil, and the condenser is back there, and then the fan is right behind it, and the air is sucked in through this side and blown in a complete 180 out this side past the compressor. This box you see right here is the overflow prevention switch, what do you call it? The bucket full switch, that's what it is. If I remove the bucket down here, there's a hole there. It is filled with water. I haven't emptied it. And the way the bucket full switch would work is, let me get my flashlight here so you can see it. The bucket full switch does not work on this unit. That little brass tube that you see sticking out of there should be a rubber hose attached to that, and it would go down to, whoa, I just knocked my flashlight over here. Would go down to about, I think, here. And when you put the bucket in, it would flip up to allow the bucket to get in. So that rubber hose, when I got it, had a big rot in it. It was all rotted, dry rotted from age. So I removed it and attempted to repair it with some rubber vinyl tubing, and that was unsuccessful. So I just removed it altogether. So the switch itself works, as does the lamp to indicate, the neon lamp to indicate that the bucket is full. Maybe in the future I'll find some replacement, but replacements for the rubber boot are probably definitely just not going to be able to find one. So another thing right here is the label. As you can see, I love that Coldspot logo. This one takes R12, and it's model number 106.736300. Manufactured for Sears Roebuck and Company. There's a qualified sticker right here, but it has gotten kind of worn away over the years. Or certified, that's not qualified. And then back here there is a schematic for servicing. Can't really see it. Covered in dust. So yeah. And you can see back there the big old compressor. And there's the condenser, as I had mentioned. The fan motor's right behind it, the fan and the motor. And here's the evaporator coil again. So yeah. And then of course up here we got the humidistat, which I have off right now. And then some other labels there. So I'll go ahead and this unit also has the ability to add a drain hose onto the bucket. If I can lift the bucket up here, you'll notice on the bottom of it, if I can find it, other way, where is it? It is this way. Right there, I don't know how well you can see. Get my flashlight. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. You can drill out that plastic and add a hose, and I'm going to do that in the future. So, put the bucket back. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the unit on so you can hear it start up, and it is really quiet. So, we'll turn the humidistat up, and it should be turning on sometime here. So we'll start up. And there it goes. And the compressor kicks on right away. And like I said, this thing is unbelievably quiet. You know, those modern units are really noisy. My grandma has one. I don't even know the brand of it, but it's one of those modern digital ones, and it is so loud. Honestly, you can hear it from upstairs. This one, you can barely hear it when you're a few feet away. Yeah. So I'll put the front grill back on. So that's what it looks like in normal operation. You got intake going in through these louvers and exhaust through these louvers. Very handy design. That way, since there's no exhaust on the back or anything, you can just put it up right against the wall and make it look all nice and everything. And it was designed to look like a piece of furniture. It wasn't designed to look like a dehumidifier, which is pretty cool. Definitely won't see one like that today. So let's see, are we getting cold yet? Take the cover back off. Yeah, we're already getting cold. I mean, I had it on a while. I had it on, before I recorded this, started filming, I did have it on for a few minutes. See if we're getting any drips yet. We're getting some drips already. As you can see the coils are already sweating. Another thing I like about this unit is it does not frost over. The coils do not frost at all. The water stays liquid and just drips right off of them into the drip pan, into the bucket. So, obviously it's very efficient. Probably more efficient than a modern one. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on. So yeah, the old Sears Coldspot 30 dehumidifier. Great addition to this basement. I think I am going to move it. When I get a drain hose for it, I'm going to move it over there. Over here, I think, where this box is, and have it drain right into the sump pump well there. That way I don't have to worry about the bucket filling up and overflowing since that full switch is broken. Yeah. Definitely won't get a modern one that works this well today. My dad was kind of skeptical at first about this unit. He didn't know if it would work or not, and I didn't know actually either. But he seems to like it well enough. He said he still wants to get a new one from like Lowe's or something. I said, you know, this one does the exact same thing. Why do you need to get a new one? Plus, another thing about these modern digital ones that aren't really built that well, my grandma has an LG one. It's like a sort of silver gray color, you know, one of those. She's had it for, I think, maybe 10 years or so. Not quite 10 years, maybe like more like 6 or 7 years. It worked great up until like 3 years ago, and now it doesn't collect any more water. I think the refrigerant all leaked out of it. So, yeah. I'm actually looking for a vintage one for her, too. I think, keep my eyes open at the Restore if another one comes out. There was a old Montgomery Ward's at the Restore, like maybe like last year or something. And somebody bought it right away, so they're obviously in high demand. Don't know why nobody wanted this one. I mean, it works fine. So, yeah. That's our new, quote, dehumidifier, new old dehumidifier for the basement. Keeping our basement nice and dry. So, thank you for watching, and more to come.